Tips, and more tips. What's up, 23% Nation? It's your man, Coach D. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back today with Nature Day. Coach D's tips for you being a 3% vegan. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and dive into Coach D's tips. All right, tip number one. Now, let's quickly remember something that being a 3% vegan is actually very easy to do. All you have to do is eat nothing but plant food for only 24 hours. Now, if you want a little bit of help, because some people may be wondering, okay, so how much money is this going to require? Well, create a budget, okay? Now, remember something, you're only eating plant foods for only 24 hours. So, prepare a budget of no less than $20 to as much as about $100. Now, if you are a little strapped for cash, then you probably want to go with the lower price plant foods. Those happen to be your whole grains and your legumes. All right. However, if you have more money and you want to eat more food, a greater variety of plant foods, then perhaps you have $100. So now you can purchase your fresh fruits, your fresh vegetables, and your nuts and your seeds, which a little bit, unfortunately, are a bit pricier. So prepare a budget as low as $20 to as much as $100. Tip number two, watch the movie Forks Over Knives, and then of course go to the website forksoverknives.com. Now, in the movie, you're going to learn all about how beneficial a whole food plant-based diet is for the human body. Plus, you're going to meet some amazing people. You're going to meet Sandera Nation. You're going to meet Joy Acorn. You're going to meet Evelyn Oswick, as well as Dr. Campbell and Dr. Esselstyn, who have treated patients with nothing but plant foods in order to cure some fatal diseases such as heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and cancer, all that horrible stuff. So please watch the movie. It'll help give you a better understanding of just how beneficial a plant-based diet is for the human body. Tip number three. Now, if you're like me and you like to venture out to do new things, right? But more importantly, you don't really want to cook, okay? I recommend that you go visit a vegan restaurant. Now, I understand that some people may not even know that vegan restaurants exist. Well, today I'm here to let you know that yes, they do exist. All you have to do is go to Google, type in vegan restaurants in my city, and voila, Google will definitely help you out. Now, another tip is to go to your grocery store. But now, while you're in the grocery store, you want to go to the prepared dishes section. Once again, this is primarily for people who do not like to cook, right? Have somebody else do the cooking for you. Chances are the food will taste much better. Now, two of my personal favorite grocery stores happen to be Whole Foods and the Fresh Market. I always go to their prepared dishes section, and they always have delicious vegan meals already prepared. So if I can do it, you definitely can do it. Tip number four, buy extra toilet paper. Guys, you got to remember something. All plant foods contain fiber, right? And so when you increase your fiber intake, that basically helps to ease constipation. So if you find yourself having to go to the bathroom a little more often than what you normally do, then go ahead and buy more toilet paper. Tip number five, carry food and water with you wherever you go. So if you're a college student and you have to go to class, carry your plant foods with you. If you have graduated college and maybe right now you're working at a full-time job, carry your plant's food with you as well as a water bottle. If you're a stay-at-home mom or dad, then make sure you have lots and lots and lots of plant foods with you, whether you're at home or whether you're driving around. Tip number 6, try not to eat or drink at restaurants, bars, and clubs. Now, for some people, this may be a little restrictive, and I understand that a lot of people like to go eat out. But here's the thing. Remember, you're on the beginner level of the 23% challenge, and technically, you are a 3% vegan. So, unfortunately, most restaurants, bars, and clubs do a horrible job at providing vegan meals. So, I want to advise you to stay away from those places. Why? Because if you go, you're more likely to eat something that you're truly not supposed to eat. Tip number 7. Now, in a utopian society, you would follow tip number 6, but I do know that people love to eat out. So if this is you, all you have to do is ask your waiter or waitress when you go to the bars, the restaurants, and the clubs, ask them if they have vegan or vegetarian dishes at that restaurant. Now, chances are they do, okay? So don't be afraid to ask, all right? Chances are they will have it. Tip number 8. Inform your friends and family members that you are a 3% vegan, right? That way they're more likely to support you. Plus, I strongly believe in the philosophy of each one, teach one. So if you tell someone you're a 3% vegan, chances are they're going to ask you, what is a 3% vegan? What does it mean? What do you do? What do you eat, right? So be prepared for a lot of questions, but just make sure you inform your friends and your family members that for one day out of the month, you are a strict vegan. Tip number 9, stay focused on what you can eat, not on what you cannot eat. Oftentimes, people sabotage themselves by focusing on all the foods that they can't eat. Oh, I can't have a steak. Oh, I can't have lasagna. Oh, I can't have cereal. Oh, I can't have this. Oh, I can't have that. Right? And so if you focus on what you can't eat, you're going to drive yourself crazy. Tip number 9 is all about having an attitude of gratitude. So please focus on the plant foods and nothing else. Tip number 10, please. Not only do you need to watch the movie Forks Over Knives, but you also need to listen to Dr. Terry Mason, who says, if it walked, hopped, swam, crawled, slithered, had eyes, a mom, and a dad, don't eat it. Tip number 11, eat your top 5 plant foods backwards. Now, what does this mean? Well, let's say that you went to the grocery store and you decided to purchase your top 5 fruits. Yummy. And let's say that pineapple happens to be your number 1 favorite fruit, while on the other hand, an orange is your least favorite fruit. Well, this is what I'm suggesting. Eat the orange first and save the pineapple for later. Why do I recommend that? Well, if you have your favorites to look forward to, then chances are you won't lose your motivation and your momentum for continuing to eat plant foods for only 24 hours. Tip number 12, buy a pressure cooker. Why do I recommend this? Because it'll help save you time. A lot of times when we like to cook our own foods, we notice that whole grains and legumes take the longest to cook. But if you have yourself a pressure cooker, you will save time. That way you'll be able to eat sooner rather than later. Tip number 13, watch the movie The Secret. That's right. Coach D is now recommending a second movie. The first movie was Forks Over Knives. The second movie is The Secret, which, by the way, is all about the law of attraction. So, for those of us who are wishing for better health, you definitely need to watch the movie The Secret. Tip number 14, invest in a NutriBullet. Now, I love my NutriBullet. Why? Because it helps me to create amazing, delicious smoothies. So if you're like Coach D and you love smoothies and you like experimenting with different concoctions, different combinations of fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds and whole grains and legumes, then go ahead and get yourself a NutriBullet. Now, how much does it cost? Well, to buy a really good one, you're going to run anywhere from $70 to about $100. You can purchase them inside the store or online. Tip number 15, stay away from canned plant foods. Guys, I got to tell you, canned foods, well, plant canned foods, yes, they may be vegetarian slash vegan. However, they are loaded with toxic chemicals. Remember, food that is in a can is loaded with preservatives. It's loaded with additives and all types of chemicals in order to keep the food fresh so that when you eat it, it tastes good. Now, if I have to give a list of what's important versus what's not important, well, first would be your fresh variety, second would be your frozen variety, and third, and hopefully you don't have to resort to this, would be the canned variety. So please stay away from canned plant foods, even though they may look appealing, smell and taste very nice. Trust me, they're not good for your body. So please stay away from all canned plant foods. Tip number 16, and I believe this is my last tip. Go grocery shopping alone or go with someone who is very supportive of you being a 3% vegan. Stay away from people who are going to cause you to stray away from plant foods. All right, so maybe that's your kids, maybe that's your husband or your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or other family members who may not be on the same health kick that you may be on, right? So that's why I recommend you go grocery shopping by yourself. That way you can stay focused and get only the foods that you are going to eat. Feedback. Coach D and the rest of the 23% Nation, we're looking for feedback about Coach D's tips. So go ahead, if you have questions, ask them, comments, write them down, concerns, share them. Whatever the case may be, write them in the comment box below. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. I'm signing out, and always remember, I love you, so take care and God bless.